I'm clicking. Yeah, I'm clicking. Okay. Yes.
Uh, wow.
Oh, someone, someone making noise there.
We are going to start over again or what now?
That,
I
read,
don't know.
uh,
It just went poop without notice. But this one's
Yeah.
supposed to go for 8 hours.
I,
I think after 4 hours you have to reboot it. I don't know. I will check later on.
I think we done here. I think
Yeah, I think we just have to go and apologize to
that
those people.
Otto was going to say something, and yeah.
Did Gadet finish?
He was
No,
still talking, but I
he
think
Yeah,
was,
he was still talking, but
yeah.
yes.
So
Uh,
if he came back, I think will be the chance still for him, and then
okay, let me send him.
and, and thank brother Abel. You saw it is out there. We didn't see it. We were just looking at.
Yeah,
I
I
think we are
alert.
live.
I alert
So
him.
we
I
are live
alert him.
again. So I have to keep my mouth
Well,
shut here.
we could
But
have,
thank brother Abel for letting us know.
yeah, absolutely.
I think brother Gadet was coming to you guys left us there.
Oh, you
I
were
think it
Okay,
was
you were
so
somewhere else.
he's on the way coming here. I told him to come to the.
Oh, to okay.
I saw the notification that you guys went live again, so that's why I told
okay,
him.
okay. Thank
I
you.
think when yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's ended before 4 hours. I think there was something with the setup or network. Maybe.
So, uh, in the other show, you guys using the proportional one, the one with 8 hour.
We don't know.
Abel,
Which one?
the Padang show.
Yes, yes, that's
Is
what
it
we are
the
using. Yes,
the proportional one?
yes, that's right. Yeah,
So you guys go more than 4 hours without going off?
without setting up, yeah, we can go more than 7, 8 hours, 7 hours mostly.
Yes,
Eight.
because this one it's a proportional. You can go for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we did this one. We never go more than 4 hours.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Yeah, I have to check.
So while we are waiting for Brother Gade to come, I was talking earlier about the next Saturday discussion. One of the, I think it was one of the participants asking about, do I know the leaders of Nuer in Canada? I think that would not be me. It will be the show to contact those leaders and bring them to board when we are going to be discussing next Saturday. Because Padang did not reach out to them and ask for discussion, but will be the Nile network mediating all this discussion and bringing those leaders together. And hopefully you guys will share the topic of discussion on Friday so that we can go over it.
Yeah.
But but I'm not. What I want to say is this: let this not be the gang up between the other community leaders against Padang community, because what we are doing is the interest of United State for all of us. Whether we disagree or we have to talk. Hopefully, we guys will be the mediating, or making sure that no side to be taken, but the issue that are at hand to be discussed by the leaders. And if there's any respectfully with respecting ourselves, because I, BL Con, I usually know that even if I disagree with you politically, I can still respect you regardless of what political point of view that you have. This is how the leaders take things, and this is how the mature people should actually act. I know that the issue of Nile State is a hot topic to be discussed, but there's nothing hard when people come together. Whatever brought us apart, we can find a way of coming together as a community, as we used to live before.
I think, Brother Abel, I know all of us were waiting for Dr. Gade to come in. But yeah, as you mentioned, I think because all of us, we're going to listen to you guys. What are you saying? All your point of view, what argue you bring forth? Because what we try to hear somebody like me who is naive about issues and the problems in Upper Nile. So I need to hear more. Yes, I grew up in Malakal, but at the same time, I wasn't really paying attention to so many historical things as to be the reason for me that maybe hold them for one day of when there is a day of judgment and things like that. So I need to understand exactly what is the problem in Upper Nile and who causes it and why the problem is still going, right? So those kind of things I need to understand from you guys who's going to be talking. Like, because the only thing that I can remember as a big problem in Upper Nile, that is in 1973, when Cholo and Nuer, they fight in Malakal. That is the only thing I can remember. But rather than that, I never heard about any other fight taking place between the tribes of that was coexisting in Upper Nile. Till 2013, right? So 2013, then the killing start. Tribe against tribe, right? We never leave any tribe that we never touch. When I mean by we, I mean the tribes of Upper Nile, right? So it's just we need to look what will be the way out, right? And of course, people not gonna gang. I don't think that people should gang on you, but pretty much if you looked at it now in people's mind, people think why Padang came up now. And first of all, I think if you look, I think Lamakol was talking about when was the first claim made for Malakal. When I was there, I never heard anything at all about Malakal to be Jing land or Apadang land, right? I never heard of that. But is it because maybe just only that blip, that portion that Cholo live in it, and now the claim was made, I think 3 times, according to what Lamakol was saying, right? Those are the claims that was made. Makal is part of Apadang land, right? So that is where we need to understand more. And what I want from you guys, like last time when you were talking about when I mentioned Nuer was killed in maybe in Akoka or Balid or what do you call it? Gela shell kind of thing. And you mentioned that Nuer started. I don't want to argue, but I think out there, who started it? There is, of course, there is somebody started it. Okay, and other people react, right? So those are the things that we need to be sure of as we're talking about it. So somebody like me who is naive really will listen to it and connect the dot, right? So at least it is good to know who is the problem here, right? And say, for example, if it's Nuer is the problem, why not? Because we want to find a solution. We will say this is wrong. We shouldn't do this. We make a mistake against Apadang. We make a mistake against Chola. We make a mistake against those tribes. So it's the truth that have to be out. I think somebody is coming in. I don't know. Okay, I just because we are just talking, we are not really into the issue.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
What I want you to do before next Saturday, you know, this discussion will go deep into the.
That will be Mabor and William to do.
Start what they call Upper Nile in 1956 as 9 districts, and based on those districts, if you go to those districts, you'll find actually who were there and who were not there in that district, because districts were actually founded based on those tribes that were living there. So if you look to Upper Nile 9 district, it tells who is habited who, which city, which part of the city. It tells there that 1956. So before you come to conclusion and say, you know, Malakal belong to Denka, Malakal belong to Shuluk, you should go and actually try to find out Nasser inhabited by who, Kodok by who, Malakal by who, Rang by who, and also Bor, you know, Bibor by who, before, you know, it became the 10th state. The greater Upper Nile was having 9 districts based on the colonial period. And when South Sudan became independent, those were actually found to be the 1956, and that's why people are making that if you were living in that area, you will claim that area that belongs to you. So 1956 tell you actually which district belong to who in South Sudan. That's what I just want to add. If we're just making it's not about what we are saying.
No, that is true. I try to look into those. I'm making my own research, but when I look, I realize some map was altered, and you can find. Maybe I will look more, but you can find the map as you say as January 1st of 1956. I think Gadet is here. We will stop right there. Let us go back to impediments. Yeah.
Yes, we will go right there. We will go that right there. Anything concern Afrinal, we will get it next week when we got the Afrinal leaders. For we, those who will be just watching and see where the leaders of Afrinal going to head us to. Thank you. Brother Gadet, you was being cut off. And thank you to Brother Abilkon. And I was seeing it like this, and I don't know what happened. That's why. So thank you. Welcome.
Well, when I cut off, you guys remember where did I cut off and then to take around because I don't want to repeat myself?
I think go ahead, repeat yourself. Dr. Cadet, go ahead, repeat yourself, no problem. Because we forgot also where you left us. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, one of my brother just notified to me, and then he like, hey, we just on on a live video we cut off, and like, okay, thank you so much again for coming back. So and thank you for.
It's where you say that you bring about the people in Sudan. We already left where you said SPLM is not true that it's a terrorist. You already left that area. Yeah. So it's where you come from, Sudan. Yeah. And there is a group.
Let me go to my number 3, JCE, because I was talking about JCE. Let me repeat myself again. Let me go by JCE. Who is calling here, man? People, when they see you going live, then they start calling. I don't know. Okay. JCE is a part of the destruction of our nation, as we all witness. Now we see the language they have been spoken, or the language they are speaking, because all of them, they are confusing us through their messages. And we all understand the fact that those people, they are part of decision maker in administration of Salva Kiir Mayadi, because Salva Kiir is the leader of JCE. In JCE, they are working under Salva Kiir as administrator. So deeply speaking, my brothers and sisters, the SPLM ruling or the SPLM freedom fighter, they are not decision making. They are not decision making. They have to share them out, as I mentioned, couple of the names, and I don't want to go further. So they are not decision making. Those who are making decision now in administration of Salva Kiir on our nations, those are who are against the SPLM, SPLA during the revolution. So my brother, yes, we are not terrorists, and I'm not supporting the government. To be honest with you, maybe some of you know where my position. But the fact that we talk about the nation problems, we must face the reality. So JC has become destruction of our nation, and I do believe in that aspect. We will agree on it. Now let me go to number 4. Salva Kiir is the president of the nation. He failed us to rule us, and I do believe we've been singing this song for many years. But the problem, what we do as South Sudanese to have better life, because we are not enjoying, we are not having fruitfuls what we fought for in the 83s, because all of us say we were young. Now we become adults. We lose our livelihoods during the struggle, where you were in the Sudan or the Northern, you were in the Egypt, or wherever you were, went to school, or you were in the Indian, or wherever you were, because the part of the struggle of 1983. Yes, we did have a nation in 2005. Do we enjoy it now? No. All foreigners, the East Africans, the corruption, like the rocket scientists, and the who and the President Salva Kiir, the land grabbing and the Salva Kiir. And if I can mention to you, for those who haven't been in Juba, if you haven't been in Juba, you have a chance to be in Juba, or you have a chance to be in South Sudan. I went for the SPLM convention in 2008. After I graduated in 2010, I volunteered personally. I went to South Sudan. I stayed there for 3 years until the war of 2013. I was there personally. I know what took place. And we can see as South Sudan is the curse has become to our language. Such an example. In Juba, the car we've been driving in Juba, they are the names. And I do believe one car from you guys is familiar to all of you. The SUB-8, the white car they have been using, they call me that Paul, and I do believe you all know their name. Hammer, they call it Nuerchi Dongwei, which means Nuer Fadal Fikhala. Toyota Corolla, they call it Mangbor, Yanabur Bagatabani Bukumitakir. El Ben, Mercedes Ben, Bulizina, Toyota. Huh?
Who are naming those names? Because
no, that's a security question. Just take the information. Sorry. Take the information. That's security information. The other cars, the vans, they call it Baria Muratap because the land has been sold out. Those are the people who create the hatred among South Sudanese. Now, if you look as a nation, it's become a curse to all of us. There's no love like we used to have. There's no unity like we used to have, because our professional politician, has divided us through sectionism. Therefore, our nation today is not standing. My message here, my brothers, let us stand firm with new character as a young leader, as a young scholar, as a new thinker, in order to reveal our South Sudan back, because we lose the entire nation. That's not law. So I don't want to dominate. My last word to my sister. Yes, understand. The woman in South Sudan has been given 35%. But if you do go back to the history, we do have more today, as we speak today, we do have more women are very educated. But the question is here, how many women are representing you now in the government of South Sudan. Only 2 women, and I don't want to mention their name. You guys know it already. That's only 2 women. They're representing you guys for so many years, and they are not the only Moses scholar. They are not that educated, and we have 1,000 women that are very educated, and no one give them the chance. Yes, I take the responsibility because the man is the one who ruling. But which type of the man is ruling the nation? Because which type of the man is ruling the nation? That's given the responsibility to the woman. Yes, I accept my sister who has been spoken. I accept your complaints. That's a factual. But we will never go to call for women come and join us, because women all the time they volunteer. Even during the revolution, the women volunteered to go to war. They were in Joko, they were in Malwal Gaos. They were fighting as a Katiba Banat. So from every diverse of South Sudanese. Now, not to conclude my words, in the last words, the 7-1 Bond rule, as one of the speakers was mentioning. Bond rule, it is a philosophy of the Greeks. When the Roman took the empire of Greek, because the Greek was one of the more dominant in the world, and then the Roman Empire has become dominant over, and he ruled the world for quite a time. So when they invade the Greek, they destroy everything, and they tell the Roman military preserve the library of Greeks, because they want the brain of Greek, how Greek ruled the world. Yes, take it to your brother. I'm talking to your brother. I'll do that. Please. Yeah. So the Greek, when they were destroyed by Roman, the Roman soldier has preserved the library. They took the brain of Greek, they brought it back to Rome. Now, where the word come, Bond rule was a Greek philosophy. Greek philosophy believed that when you have a long nose, blue eyes, orator or speaker, you are well spoken, you are a leader. Therefore, now in South Sudan, you see some particular people using that word, we won't rule, in which that's a wrong statement from the Greek until present time from those who are using that kind of word. All of us here in this panel from different nations, because we're from different nations. If you're from other tribe, you are the nation. I have to respect you because you do have different culture. I have different culture. We have to come together because we live in the same land they call South Sudan. We do have different culture, but yes, we all South Sudanese. Every tribe in South Sudan is born to rule. It's not the one particular one. So that's a correction I want to put it to those brothers or those sisters who think they were born to rule. That's opinions, and that was the Greek philosophy. And I will stop there, and I give chance to the rest. So I will be waiting to listen to you, my brother. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Brother Gadet. Now it's going to go to Brother Otto, and it will be your last, because you're supposed to come. Now I give you 4 minutes, but the rest of the people, I have to give only 2 minutes to for the closing time, because time is running. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, moderator. I think, yeah, we are coming to the end, and all what we mentioned is true. The effect which not implement the peace agreement in South Sudan is very clear. All of us mentioned points, and if we summarize or if we sum up all those points, this is the issue need to be addressed. Some related to the leadership, some related to the community, some related to opposition. Therefore, in our conclusion, the issue which is facing people today, we need to come together. That's the main thing we need to preach for, so that we can bring peace. Peace doesn't come by itself. We have to work for it, and we have to dream big. Check and balance of truth is most important thing. You know, sometimes someone lying more and we are supporting them in their lie, and that's where we don't come together because of that. So my point, as we mentioned all these things, very important to know what the obstacle for peace agreement in Southern Sudan. And that's really very something hurting everybody, but the leaders that are keeping silent. They don't want to talk about it and they don't care about what's going on. We, the people of Southern Sudan, we must unite and loud our voice so that they can be here. We have to negotiate. We have to come to a conference like this and try to express what's going on wrong in Southern Sudan. And this is the only way we can solve the problem. That we diagnose our problem is there's no peace in the ground, but there is a peace in the paper. How can we implement it is depend on us. And this is really a very serious issue. Even the leader, that are unable to get out of it because it's tough for them. But the nation can come up with the solution. Either we get rid of all of them, or we have to make this country go back to war again. That's only solution we have now, because they are not thinking anymore. Thinking that for a position, their children, and they're okay what's going on now, but they don't care about the innocent who running under the trees and they're living in the water. You know, that's the main problem really we have in Southern Sudan, and this is the Nile Nation Network is a platform to address all those issues, and we have to raise it. If we don't raise up those issues, nobody will come and say, oh, this is a problem in Southern Sudan. We have to identify the problem and get the solution for it. And this is my take from there. And thank you.
I keep talking myself because when I finish always I do mute myself. So thank you very much for your time to respect 4 minutes. And now it's not even 4 minutes, it's 3 minutes. Thank you. Now and respect our 2 minutes, because this is the last for our term. And also too, after we're done, make sure check your messenger, because I tried to contact you, but you didn't respond to me, so we can coordinating the next Saturday, including the topics. So we will reward it to you that this is the topic for next Saturday. We will do that on Friday. Thank you.
Yeah, Mabor?
Yes. Abiel, are you there? Okay, maybe.
I don't
Okay,
see
now,
I don't see her here.
yeah, Jojo, welcome.
Maybe you drop out, I think.
Yeah.
No, he's there.
He's there.
Oh, it's okay. He's there. Yeah, welcome. I keep talking. I don't know. Do you was hearing me? Are you hearing me before?
Yes, I hear you now. I just about to get something, but I'm hearing you.
Okay then. Yeah, thank you. It's your turn now. Now is the time to close. So we give you 2 minutes, and also too, don't forget. Let exchange our messenger, because to update you for the next Saturday. About the next Saturday, I will update you about it, and then when the topic is been put, so we will give you the line for the topic, and also to respect 2 minutes, because everybody is a time now for closing. And thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to thank all the panels, those who have given their time to discuss. You know, we are all concerned about what's happening in our country. I think that's why each and one of you have taken the time to spend in social media to try to dialogue. I'm also one of the Red Army that left Sudan when I was young. Grew up in Malakal. I was born in Malakal, but left when I was young. I know what was happening by then. And for those who are saying SPLM as a terrorist organization, I don't think that is a right word to use. And you cannot only point your finger at one side saying that it's only the SPLM under the leadership of President Kiir that is been termed as a terrorist organization, while the rest of the SPLM led by Dr. Riek Machar is not being put into that category as well. And that's why they are holding up into that name, because SPLM is a name that means a lot to the people of South Sudan, especially we, the Red Army that grew up in liberated area, those who have joined the movement in a young age. We know our leader, what they were telling us when we were back in Ethiopia, that we are the leader of tomorrows, but this is not the tomorrow that we are looking now. We know that our country have turned into different things that we don't wish that it should be the one that we are talking today. Otherwise, could have been talking, sitting in South Sudan, whether in Malakal, in Bor, in other part of the areas, discussing the way forward. But now we are talking about how we should put things right together. So why the peace is not going through, it is not something that we could all beat around the bush why it's not going through. But peace is not a one-side thing to implement. We know through the CPA, if it was not actually the wise leader of the SPLM, I don't think the South Sudan could have realized it that independent. But they have shown, the patience that there's a time ahead of us. And that's when we realized the independence of South Sudan. 2 years down the road, we find ourselves fighting ourselves as Southerners, basically because of the leadership. There's nothing more than that. But as it spread it like a wildfire, now we are in a process of salvaging our social coherence that's been there, the social fabric that was destroyed based on this, the struggle within the movement. I'm still a member of SPLM. I cannot deny that. And I know that there's a better future ahead of us, because those leaders, actually, their sons, our sun is rising and the sun is going down. So what we can say is we need this peace agreement to be implemented so that the people of South Sudan can enjoy their life, But one thing, when you talk, there's a name that people are giving name based on the one ethnic community. It put person like me into how to ask this question. Who are giving those names and why is it? Is it actually true that is it the old Dinka that are enjoying the fruit of the nation of South Sudan? No, that's not right. It is who are giving those names. That's why I'm asking Brother Peter Gadet to be able to be Pacific. But when we are saying this, we are putting all in one pot. Of course, I will defend myself as one of the ethnic community, as people are saying that is one against 63 tribe. That is totally wrong. We know who are hijacked the SPLM. We know that SPLM is not the SPLM that we used to believe in it. But what I can believe is this: there's a better future ahead of us. So as a young people of that nation, when we reason here, we better to be truthful about what's happening in South Sudan. It's not only that President Kiir have committed, the forces under his leadership that have committed to atrocities. The same thing goes to Dr. Riek Machar as well. The same thing goes to Thomas Cirillo. The same thing that goes to anybody that carrying arm in South Sudan have committed crime. So it's not only one side that to be judged. It's not one side to be judged. We have to judge all sides. Why are we fighting ourselves? Is it the only way that we should fight? Or should we use a dialogue as a means of resolving our problems? Should we use a non-armed struggle as a way of resolving our problem in South Sudan? Of course, that's the way that we could use. So when you pick up arm that you're fighting the tribe, you cannot be You cannot be the same accepted, so sorry I've taken that long. I'm looking forward for next Saturday as the leader of Asfel, leader of Jing Padang community. I've already informed my people that they will be ready, and we will discuss the issue of Upper Nile State. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Now is our time. It's a time to our sister Jojo. Miss Jojo, is your turn. Thank you. And it's a closing time for us.
Yeah, thank you. Like we said, we set up some of the issues, some of the obstacles that is blocking the peace process. I know some people feel bad and maybe they feel that they're being hurt. We blame the government, whether it's not on you, but Salva Kiir as a government, he's responsible for why the peace process is not going, because he's the president of the country and the people are suffering. And as a president, like I said before, your duty is to protect and serve the citizens. But we see that our citizens people are being killed, people are being people are being taken by security to the house. There is no law. And as a government, you're the one that is supposed to provide law and order in the country. There's no protection. Some people are living, the South Sudanese citizens, they're living in IDPs, which is not fair. To me, personally, the president is responsible for the people of South Sudan. With that being said, I don't want to take much of your time. As you guys know, we came to the conclusion of the show. I just want to say thank you for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Joyce. Um, uh, Mary, please, we send you the link, and I know that people are closing here, but we try to make sure that you can come in and say something, because I value everybody, especially you, women, and I value that 45% that was being given to you recently in Juba. I still value that. We needed not even 45%. We needed let everybody to be together as equal to all humankind. I love that. So it's not about whoever love what. That's what you should know from here. So just try it, please. Try to get in, or I will try to explain it to you later. So now it's time to give a chance to Brother Pell, and then William will come and after Pell. Thank you.
As we are talking about our topics today, impediments
2 minutes.
to implementation of the peace agreement in South Sudan. We say a lot of things. What are the obstacles that are not hindering us to achieve the real peace? As we can see, we will not really achieve the real peace. It may need some sacrifices that have to be done, because it could be simple as when we don't say the truth right? And the only truth, then there is no peace. Till we realize that we have to say the truth, then maybe the real peace that God give us, which I consider as one of God's attributes, that given to us, that we're supposed to live in harmony and peacefully and coexist together. Till we accept that fact, right? There is no peace. Peace is powerful. We can do a lot of things. I mentioned earlier, because we have peace, we can go to the moon, we can build cities, we can thrive as human. But at the same time, peace is very fragile, that even a thought can destroy it for you. Arabs say, al-badi azlam. Filan darabni wa masha ishtaka. Wala darabni wa baka wa masha ishtakani. So if we look at the issues of South Sudan, last time I was saying, giving the example of the king and the poor man, who can play which role? King can play all roles. We don't need to repeat ourselves. But because we deny reality over and over and over, there is no peace unless certain sacrifices have to be made. Because when peace get interrupted, you have normal reactions that can happen. Either you fight, or you flee, or you freeze, which I say you just accept the fact and let me be quiet and keep my mouth shut, and that is it, right? But there is certain people that when their peace get interrupted, they have to fight for it. And that is what I want to conclude by telling the normal South Sudanese person there that may watch these shows in YouTube in the few years to come or few days to come. Whenever your peace is getting interrupted, you need to fight for it regardless of what. And I'm not trying to say you need to fight for it by bullets. That is not what I'm talking about. But as you talk about it, you cry for it, you demonstrate, it's going to be another revolution that people should come out and really claim their peace back. Because peace is not going to come as long there is few individuals that is still blaming you for you reacting with the act that they did to you. I see in South Sudan TV a pastor, he was preaching, and he say in the Bible, say if somebody hit you from the right side, give him the left side. And the guy was saying, really, really? And then what happened? One of them slapped him, and he forget about the word of God that he was preaching, and he start fighting them. You know, when we take things literally and we put them into action. So now, if you look at it, is the system trying to tell us, we rape your sister, your mother, we kill your brothers and uncle and sister, but don't do nothing? Concord, don't do nothing. This is the new normal. You're going to be experiencing this thing over and over and over. Please don't do nothing. Don't react. Don't go carry arms. Don't go bring somebody like Riek Machar to be your leader and come every once in a while sign a peace agreement with us, and then we tear it apart in few months. That is the supporters of the system. That is what they are trying to tell us. That don't react. This is the normal thing. The atrocities that we are committing, don't do nothing about it. No, from here, I would say we need to fight to get our peace back. If it is a logic, we will look for it. But we will not condone lies.
Moderator, shall I be
Sorry.
given a time, please,
I'm
before
done.
you guys do the close?
I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you. I will close it here. But we have to keep fight for our peace. There is voices keep raising up, and then when the government hear those voices, they continue doing what they want to do because there is still voices out there supporting what they are doing and pointing fingers to others. I will leave it there.
Okay. Thank you. Now is the time for thank you, brother Peter Belew. We just came now and we are closing, so you will be the last person. So I give a chance to William. William is the last, and then the second person. I don't know, Simon. Are you going to say anything? Conclusion,
No,
please.
let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay then. Yeah, and then Brother William, is your turn. Please, Tom is running,
Okay,
and then we
thank
will
you.
give.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I think we impediment to the implementation of peace agreement in Southern Sudan, there are a lot, but we cover some of them, and it's good to talk. Uh, I think we don't need to be politically correct when we are correcting what went wrong in our life. Michael Jackson said he loved history because history is a mirror that can reflect your image. So we don't need to be politically correct when we challenge ourselves. It's very hard to say it. SPLM is terrorist. But if we try to separate the issues from people that can help us, we're not talking about the people as all who fight the war. We have our veterans who are begging in the street today. These are the people who fought the war. And you guys, you said you are one of the Red Army. Look at our situation. This is why you fight. And even Dr. John Garang, if you come to that and you ask him, then if it is not, there is issue, and then we have to be bold to correct it. I remember one thing that was said by Desmond Tutu. He said we need to confront the beast within our hearts. He didn't say white people, but the beast that went into our hearts. This is what we have to do as a people of Southern Sudan. SPLM, we have to condemn it, whether the one with Riek Machar or the one where they name it SPLM. But let me say this. It is, as I said, it's good to value people by their action, not just by name. SPLM, we should not touch it. But what SPLM is doing, that is very important. Before SPLM even, there is Anyanya, and then Anyanya 2. Then what happened? How did it was replaced with SPLM? We don't want to go there. But it was through bloody transformation. And then we have a name SPLM. No. What does SPLM stand for? We all know it is just to establish a new Sudan. But are we in Sudan today? when Al Abdullah Aziz or Yasser Arman or Malik Agar, where are they? These are the people we put all together to have SPLM. There is a change, but we still using it Sudan People Liberation Movement. And there is no Sudan anymore. So that is the name. We don't change. We forget even to change. Because when change comes, there are many things we can let it go. So is the name itself suitable for us as the people of Southern Sudan? I don't know. Okay. So if we have to set SPLM is terrorists, we are talking about their action now, but not you guys who contributed too much. We see our veterans are dying. So let me just do a comparison here. In America, there is a Confederate flags. No, it become a problem now. People are viewing it as offensive and racist flag in America. And it's being banned, not to be used. So compare it to SPLM. These are the people who fought the war in America to make America they have today. But because there is some injustice there, and people say no. Come to our country here, where we are, Abel Kon is here, the first Prime Minister, Sir John MacDonald. His status now is being moved. And he's the one who built this great country. But why? Because there is injustice. He was building country at the expenses of other nation, First Nation. So the truth does not qualify him to be a national figure. That's why he's now suffering now. He have no place. Go to Belgium recently last year when George was killed in America and the world stood up. There is a king in, I forgot the name, the king of Belgium, who brutalized the Congolese and built his kingdom. No, the world came to know that he was a hero that time. No people know it, but he was a bloody person. And then his status now is being thrown away there in the water. But that is the truth. So if we start being emotional of showing our support and for people who are killing us, making our veteran who make them to want the war to beg in the street, and then we don't challenge them. There are a lot behind SPLM. Let them know if they are okay. We have a right as the people of Southern Sudan that we don't want that name. We are Southern Sudanese. So I will hand up here. Thank you. Hello? Oh,
You have to unmute yourself, Mabor.
I always do that. Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, about you elaborate everything, but I'm the one who remains as the last person later. I will be have 2 minutes only to elaborate about SPLM itself, and also too, Brother Bellew, you came late as a person, and now is the time that we will be closing, but we will not disappoint you. We will make sure that we give you 4 minutes. You will speak with 4 minutes. What happened? He left?
It's not there, I think.
Can you
I think it dropped. Yeah,
conclude,
it dropped.
Magor?
He disappointed, but I didn't tell him that you are not going to speak. It sounds like he's not happy with that. Well, okay, so too bad, brother. It's a time for closing, but we give you 4 minutes. If you refuse that 4 minutes, is okay. Well, like all what is going on in South Sudan, we all put our eyes on the leaders, and also too within the SPLM that which we were belong to. Oh, he back.
Yes.
Hello, what happened?
Yes. I'm listening. I know why the call was dropped. Yes.
Okay. 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 I thought maybe you got anger on me because
Oh,
I
no,
say
no, no.
now we are closing.
Well,
I thought maybe you say, okay, this guy doesn't want me. I don't want to let you go.
well, the
Okay.
disagreement.
Yeah. So
yeah. First of
we
all,
we give you 4 minutes.
Yes.
With respect, because we are closing, and thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm hearing some background noise. I don't know if you hear me clear now or not. Before I start to speak. Well, Brother Jocks and the rest of the hosts, I want to thank you for having me be one of you guest speaker. These topics, if you could brief me a little bit, and I think based on what I have heard earlier, I think topic is about peace implementation. I did not follow your people that spoke before me. Was a different show. I just came in. There was a time that I came and visit. I was trying to log in. I found out that the link was not sent direct. If your topic is about peace and some of the difficulties of peace implementation, for whatever reason, I'm hearing too noisy. Do you hear me well now? Okay. When it comes to the peace implementation, I think Lord knows who I am. Lord and I, we run into a show where we cannot see eye to eye. We happen to come from a different perspective. Let me introduce myself to you. I was the SPLA soldier, and when I left, I was captain. Was a part of Nasser faction, and it was Nasser faction that let me left the struggle. I was the members of the India Battalion Task Force once. From the times I went to Bunga, in 1994, I left SPLA. SPLA is an organization that fight to free us from the North marginalization. It's not affiliated to the terrorist organization. It is an organization that believe in democracy and right, that want a new Sudan where all of us will have rights to participate, to be part of it. That is the SPLA that I was a part of. That's the SPLA that I know. 2005, after the death of John Garang, new SPLA was born. The SPLA that has abandoned SPLM visions. Yes, the ones we have now, you may call it, you can give it whatever name you give. But the SPLM and SPLA that I was a part of, it was not a terrorist organization. We as a diaspora, our responsibility to serve the unity of the people of South Sudan. Let us not lie to ourselves, and let me not be polite. There is no peace in South Sudan. I have said it many occasions that I spoke. Peace will never come under the leadership of Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. Riek Machar and Salva Kiir has failed us. It is our responsibility as a citizen of South Sudan to say it's enough, and two of them need to leave. When I have said it, I used to have my own show. I said it. Riek Machar had run South Sudan for 6 years. What have he done? Zero. If we as South Sudanese are educated, if you live in Australia or United States or Canada, let's say a prime minister and a deputy prime minister, the deputy prime minister cannot say that prime minister failed and he did not fail. The same thing here to us in the United States. Vice president cannot say, come publicly and say president has failed because they are the same team. We should have told two of them to leave because they had failed us. Corruption was high. Under the watch of Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, we could have, joined together and said, it's enough, you guys need to go home. We divide ourselves and we fought each other. What have we got as a result? It is chaos. Peace will not come in South Sudan as long as Riek Machar and Salva Kiir are leading us. There is no peace. Riek Machar wanted to return back to his position and he got it. He doesn't care about the troops that he had commanded. He abandoned them. As long as you still have the troops that were abandoned by Riek Machar, you still have chaos. On the other hand, what do we do to bring peace in South Sudan? I think what we need to do is to urge international community. Enough is enough. There will be no peace under the leadership of Salva Kiir and Riek. We need two of them to go. We need a transitional government without two of them. That is a government that would be able to reconcile people of South Sudan. This is a fact. It's not a fiction. Let's just take an example. Denka were killed by the people under the command of Riek Machar. Do you think Jiang would be able to trust Riek Machar and listen? How do you think Riek Machar is going to reconcile people of Upper Nile with all his background? How do you think Salva Kiir will go to Nuer and lecture them? While in 2013, his own Masiang Anyor massacred Nuer. This is a fact. I cannot listen to lecture from Salva Kiir because I cannot trust him. He has committed crimes and does not deserve to lead the country. But I can forgive him if he decides to leave. And that's many Dinka that their relatives were killed have the same ideas that they cannot trust Riek Machar. When I went to SPLA, I did not go to SPLA to make Riek Machar or Salva Kiir kings. We have a tons of educated people that can lead South Sudan into a democratic South Sudan that we want, that we all fought for. Brothers, there is no peace in South Sudan. I know, Jabril, you don't even know who you're supporting. You cannot tell me, I was in the Dear Battalion, I fought, what have you done? You are simple followers. You don't even know who is Riek. I had been with Riek and I knew who he is. He abandoned you and leave you there wandering in Maban. I can't even waste my time lecturing people of you would not listen. What we need to do, let me come back. I have heard that you guys would also issue concerning Apanal. I think our responsibility as we as a diaspora, I'm calling for the unity of the people of South Sudanese diaspora. If we come together and we distance ourselves from those who put us in this situation, we would be able to fix South Sudan problem. Riek and Salva Kiir are not clean, and we need to distance ourselves from them if we have to achieve the unity and peace in South Sudan. I don't want to waste your time because you guys run out of time. Let me stop there.
Thank you, brothers, and pick up that phone too. Someone called you already. Yeah, yeah.
Do attack show me a link and they show me that.
Yeah,
national something. But you're the cut.
You can mute him, Mabor.
Even if I mute him,
You have somebody raising hand there, Mabor.
yes,
So,
yes, I hear that. I hear that. Okay.
He just had something. This is out of topic that I'm talking about. You listen to me? Okay. Kalam ana good.
And
I think you muted yourself.
Unmute yourself. You unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I try to.
Thank you. I'm not going to be long. Like my brother say, he had like 343B, like BBB. And then when somebody has him, what that mean? I'll be like, be brief, my brother. I will be brief. Thank you so much, Mabor and Comrade Pal and the rest of our moderators for the chance again. These are my last words for today. But it's so grateful to share the ideology and the fruitfulness of our country as a scholar, as a thinkers, as a leaders, as a countryman of the Republic of South Sudan. I will highlight the things. Every plan, it has a root. When you plan the plan, always every plan it has a root in order to grow. When you build a house, as the house we are talking now, there's a foundation. Every house, it has a foundation. What I'm trying to say here, every issue in life, there is a cause. When there is a cause, when there's a conflict between two people, two of them, they cannot all be right. One has to be wrong and one has to be right. But when we decide not to accept the factual, as my brother Pal has put it, and others, former Speaker William, when we refuse to accept the factual and the reality of the situation, we will never reach the solution. Yes, in political, sometimes we can be refusing the fact that to have a political correctness, but we can have some political compromising. So compromise, that's a bar, can take us to the scope where we want to reach. Therefore, we must concede the nation problem. Our nation had been failed because Salva Kiir failed the nation. That's a factual. There's no need of scientific proof. and I do not have to challenge no one. Yes, the fact that those names I have put it, everyone has a family in Juba. You can call and prove have those things. So over here, when we are discussing the nation issue, the nation problem, we must tell the fact and the reality. My brother, we want to solve the problem of South Sudan. The terminations was come from the Greater Upper Nile. Greater Upper Nile, those are people who fix the people of SPLM, SPLA to have a republic today. We all are enjoying it. That's a factual. Now, the peace implementation is not proceeding because of one man who holding the responsibility, and he visit buying people of SPLM using the dollar of gas oil to buy the generals in order not to implement the peace. Salva Kiir Mayardit is still the problem as we speak today, my brothers. Salva Kiir Mayardit is still the problem of the Republic of South Sudan today because he's a commander in the ship. He's supposed to implement the peace with his partner. Lastly, he always cried the fact that I need my brother Dr. Machar to come in Juba. His brother Dr. Machar now is in Juba for 1 year. The question is why they are not implementing the peace, my brother, if we follow the history. So when we talk here, we are not the children. We are the scholar of the 21st century. We analyze with things and we bring the rootness of the cause. We are not any more children. We grew up in that revolution. We know from the beginning to the end. Salva Kiir and Dr. Machar are now in Juba. There are no need to blame for Dr. Machar is the problem. Dr. Machar, he does not have any political opinion as we speak today. He dropped every kind of information. He dropped the security arrangement to implement the peace in Juba. The question we need has to all of us as a countryman, as a great citizen of the nation, if you do love your country, why we are not implementing the peace? Who is the problem? Thank you so much, my brothers. Thank you for your chance. Thanks everyone for the great discussion, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Actually, you threw the ball back to our brother Abel Kun, and we're supposed to close now. So for you audience, can I give Abel Kun 1 minute?
Mabor, is we going to debate again, and I think you have to stick on what you said. You said you give each person the last 2 minutes.
Yes, I give you
so if you go, yeah, so stick on that. Yeah.
Thank you. Abel Kun.
Yes.
The guy is from Afernal. The guy is from Afernal. So you guys will find each other, and we will bring you. If it is a debate between me, between Gadid and Abel, I will be very happy. You guys can find a time, and then I can host you guys. I will give you time so I can host you as a debate. Two of you.
Mr. Moderator, you try to put it between both of us, but it's not between. It's not the issue. Is not between me and my brother. And my brother. No,
that is true.
For the perception, political perception. I was putting my view as well. He was putting his view. The debate is not between me and him. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's not between you and him. No. I know that. It's just another debate. That's what I try to. Okay. All right. So, Abel Kun, sorry. I give you your 2 minutes, and Lagano others, and please, because everybody already earned his 2 minutes, and now if I give you 1 minute, but it's not a debate, and our brother will not answer.
No, I'm not going to debate anybody. I just want to make my point. Even 1 minute is too much for me. Just, of course, we are all yearning for peace.
But what is going to happen? So if I want to also respond later on, you will give me 30 seconds, or what is going on?
Okay,
if someone attacks you, if someone attacks you,
then we will be here till morning, right? So
as I said earlier, I'm not here representing the government or the SPLM IG. This is not what I'm presenting. Okay. So we are talking about what the issue that the peace is not going the right way. That's all our concern as citizens of that nation. And we are all yearning for peace. So the only way that we should be able to do is to talk about it, how we're going to make that peace. But the peace cannot be implemented by one side, is what I'm saying. It's not only President Kiir that can implement the peace. Of course, there is peace partners. There's two principles in that peace agreement. There are signatories in that peace agreement. And why are they not talking about it? Why are they not implementing the peace agreement? As if the president is the only that can only implement the peace agreement. As we say that, given the history, tell us that it's not on one side. When we signed the CPA, it was not only the Khartoum agreement that was to implement the peace agreement. Of course, SPLM has also given up. President Kiir also have given up. As you say that, he has given up in the issue of third state for the sake that the peace can come to South Sudan. The same thing that President Machar has given up of going to Juba without the security arrangement. So it's a compromise between the two leaders. Our job here as the people of South Sudan is to make sure that we hold them accountable of what they have signed for, so that our country cannot go back to war. This is what I can say. Thank you and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Now, as Mr. Mabor, so I give myself an authority. I give myself 3 minutes to put things together, and then we can say for goodbye. And if someone want to leave now, also too, no problem. He can go on my talk, but my 3 minutes. The good thing that I will be agree with my brothers, and I will be agree with my brothers Abilkon with one thing. SPLM is not a terrorist, and I will say this: SPLM is not a terrorist. The terrorists itself are the NCP who are surrounded, who are in today. They are the elite that call themselves Young Council of Elders. They are the really terrorists in South Sudan. And themselves, they are not even a young community. They are those who were in Khartoum, sit in Khartoum, don't even know what was had in the bush, never test Bawuda. Let me try this Arabic. Okay? They never test Bawuda, and now they are the people who are killing South Sudanese today. And I blame the community, which is my own part, to be kept quiet, not to condemn this group. And the NCP themselves. But SPLM itself is an innocent child in South Sudan. And that for the person who say, God, he's caring for Ms. Kochkong and leave his children. The children is the Belkon, Mr. Gadet, Mr. Borwell, and Mr. Pal Jog. These are the children of the SPLM that suppose Fakir. No, he reject us. He went and take care for Mr. Who? Mr. Former President, which is Umar al-Bashir. That's what he's taking care for now in Juba. But today is the NCP leadership. Nobody can deny that. I can even go toast to toast. All of them. If someone can be guided by the different country president son to be his own personal advisor, you sell the country already. And that's why we still at war until today. Because our country is not ruling South Sudan. It's ruling Khartoum. It's not ruling Sudan. It's ruling Uganda. I see people that cartoon, Riek Machar holding this hand and Salva Kiir holding this hand. That's not Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. That's Umar Bashir and Mr. Masabin are holding South Sudan. They want to tear it into apart. And they've done that. They're success. That's the big problem that we have today. We go to Juba now. Who are in the street? They are the young community, the young children. They are in the street suffering. Who are in the street? They are the ones that also didn't 64 plus. They are the people who are suffering today in South Sudan. And yet, let's go to the bigger picture. Our aim problem is Jiang Council of Elders. As we all know, this is the big problem. We clean them up, we success. Our country will be success. Abel Kon will be having a dream for Malakan to Gambela without being a Yinga. The same to someone else will be having a dream from Juba to Rome. Nobody will have a Yinga. If we don't come together, who can do that? Let's condemn. What is in Juba is not SPLM. I assure you guys, what is in Juba is not SPLM. Jiang Council of Elders, they are not an SPLM. Although they hijack the president, they make it a leader for themselves and make him fear for his life. That's the issue today. And thank you very much. And we will be having a great night. We are done. So
Good night.
now we will wait for good night.
Good
You
night,
say we are
guys.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, guys.
If we are done, then I will say good night or good morning in Australia or wherever you are.
Thank you.
Mr. Walking aboard, I will give you the information in your inbox
In my
so that you
inbox.
will be in contact.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Comrade Pal, you can unmute yourself so you can talk. So we don't hear you.
No,
Now,
I think because you veto everything. So you know what? We have to be disciplined here. So if you say we are done, we are done. We are just hearing you. Are you going to play music or something like that? Or are you already say bye? So I'm good to go, man. I'm falling asleep. So see you guys
Yeah.
next time.
Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you for Dr. Gadet. Good to see you also.
Guys. Thank you.
Good to see you, brother Pal. That's a project. It's a long time since Juba 2012. Good to see you again.
I know.
Yeah, brother Con, thank you. Thank you, everyone. William and Mabur. Yes, it will be a pleasure. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.